Alright, here's Chapter 13, Part 3, our combination drugs. Combination drugs are a little more difficult, or not even really more difficult, because you're still doing the same thing. It takes a little longer to calculate the safe dose. So, because they're two different drugs. They're not just one drug, like we've been working with. Wish I could say some of these names. One of them that comes to mind is hydrocodone, because it's got an aspirin in it, or not aspirin, a Tylenol and codeine. That's a combination drug. My Tylenol sinus that I take is a combination drug because it has Tylenol and it has a decompressant in it. So that's a combination drug. Combination drugs are usually ordered by the amount to give or dose volume of the concentration desired. Like in number 14, the doctors ordered Pediatric 6 milliliters. Okay, so he tells us exactly what to give, how many milliliters to give of erythromycin, 200 milligrams, and whatever that word is, 600 milligrams per 5 milliliters. So these are the two drugs that are in the Pediatric. So he's ordered it by mouth every 6 hours for a child weighing 44 pounds. The pediatric drug reference states that Pediatric is a combination drug containing 200 milligrams of erythromycin and whatever that other one, with 600 milligrams of that word in every 5 milliliters oral suspension. The usual dose for the Pediatric is 50 milligrams erythromycin and 150 milligrams, this one, per kilogram per day, and equally divided to doses administered every 6 hours. So we got the every 6 hours because he's ordered it every 6 hours. So, is the order safe? And I give us a hint. Because this is a combination drug, notice that the order is for the dose volume of 6 milliliters. To verify that the dose is safe, you must calculate for each drug component the recommended dosage and the recommended quantity to give to that supplied dosage. So the first thing we're going to look at is the erythromycin. And it's 200 milligrams of erythromycin is what's been ordered. But the recommended is 50 milligrams. So erythromycin is 50 milligrams per kilogram per day. That's my recommended. So to figure out how many milligrams or what the dose is, this should be, okay, so I'm going to take the 50 milligrams per kilogram per day times the child's weight, which is 44 pounds, times my conversion, 1 kilogram, 2.2 pounds. So pounds cancels, kilograms cancels. So then I'm going to have 50 times 44 is 2,200 over 2.2, or divided by 2.2, and that's 1,000 milligrams per day. Now, if I want to look at how many milligrams per dose, if I take the 1,000 milligrams per day, and if it's given every 6 hours, again, you take your 24 hours in a day divided by 6, we get 4 doses. So 1 day, 4 doses. and that's 250 milligrams per dose. Alright, and then, oops, the other one. In my milligrams per day, and then this one's 150 milligrams per kilogram per day times the child's weight times the 1 kilogram per 2.2 pounds. Pounds cancels, kilograms cancels. So then I have 150 times 44, which is 6,600, divided by 2.2, which is 3,000 milligrams per day. So now if I want the milligrams per dose, it's the 3,000 milligrams per day times the 1 day, 4 doses. So it's 3,000 divided by 4, and I get 750 milligrams per dose. Okay, but that doesn't tell me anything about how many milliliters. So I know my recommended dose, or my safe dose, is the 250 milligrams and the 750 milligrams. But he's ordered the 200 milligrams. No, excuse me. It comes in the 200 milligrams. He's also ordered the 200 milligrams and the 600 milligrams, but it comes in the 200 milligrams and the 600 milligrams. So I'm going to take my minimum safe dose, which is 250 milligrams. Actually, this is my erythromycin, isn't it? Per dose. This is E. Times, it comes 200 milligrams and 600 milligrams in 5 milliliters. So 5 milliliters, 200 milligrams for the erythromycin. So my milligrams cancel. Put that in my calculator, and I get 6.25 milliliters for erythromycin. So the other one, I do the same thing, but my dose is 750 milligrams per dose, and it's still the 5 milliliters, but it's the 600 milligrams per 600 milligrams. So my milligrams cancel. 750 divided by 600. Oops, this is 750 times 5. 750 times 5 divided by the 600, and I get 6.25 milliliters. These should come out to be the same. So my ordered dose has to be less than or equal to my safe dose. And in this case it is. So my dosage is safe. I'm going to come under here for a minute. The reason I'm using the 200 per 5 milliliter and the 600 per 5 milliliter to find out how many milliliters I can give is because the reference states that the combination drug is 200 milligrams of erythromycin with 600 milligrams of the, whatever that one is, in every 5 milliliters. So my erythromycin supply dose is 200 milligrams per 5 milliliters. And then the other, the S1 supply dose is 600 milligrams per 5 milliliters because that's the way it comes in the reference, drug reference. Okay. That takes a long time sometimes. And I forgot to raise my page. Y'all are going to hate me when this is all over. I hope not. But anyway. See if I can get this one all in on the same page without screwing it up. Alright, the order is Septra suspension, 7.5 milliliters of TMP, 40 milligrams per 5 milliliters. So the doctor's ordered the 7.5 milliliters. And he's ordered it as the TMP of 40 milligrams for a child who weighs 22 pounds. The drug reference states that Septra is a combination drug containing the TMP 40 milligrams and whatever that one is, 200 milligrams and 5 milliliters. It further states that the usual dosage of Septra is based on the TMP component, which is 6 to 12 milligrams per kilogram per day, in divided doses every 12 hours for mild to moderate infection. So we don't have to worry about the second drug, just the TMP component. So I'm looking at the TMP, and it gives me a range, 6 milligrams to 12 milligrams per kilogram per day. So I want to know what's my safe range. So just like we've been doing, 6 milligrams per kilogram per day times the child's weight of 22 pounds times 1 kilogram over 2.2 pounds. So my pounds cancel, my kilograms cancel. So 6 times 22 divided by 2.2 is 60. So that's 60 milligrams per day. And it's in divided doses every 12 hours. So these two match. So if I want the dose per day, the milligrams per dose, I'm going to take that and take 1 day, 2 doses, which gives me 30 milligrams per dose. And then I'm going to do the maximum, the 12 milligrams per kilogram per day times the 22 pounds over 1 times the 1 kilogram over 2.2 pounds. So 12 times 22 divided by 2.2 is 120 milligrams per day. So 120 milligrams per day times 1 day, 2 doses equals 60 milligrams per dose. So my range is 30 milligrams is less than or equal to the ordered dose, which is less than or equal to the maximum of 60 milligrams per dose. Well, he's ordered 7.5 milliliters. So the TMP comes in 40 milligrams and 5 milliliters. So my supply dose for the TMP is 40 milligrams for 5 milliliters. So I would give start off with my safe, the 30 milligrams over 1 times my supply. Milligrams cancels, 0 cancels. 3 times 5 is 15 over 4 is 3.75. That's the minimum. The maximum is 60 milligrams times 5 milliliters per 40 milligrams. Zeros cancel. 6 times 5 is 30 over 4. And that's 7.5 milliliters. So he's ordered 7.5 milliliters. The maximum safe milliliters is 7.5. So the dose volume is safe. Okay, so I'm going to leave 16 and 17 to you. 17 is an adult. It works the same exact way as the children. Your patient just weighs more. That's the only difference. Okay, I will see you next time.